Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 2000. My name's Adam, in case you didn't catch that last time. In fact, I don't think I mentioned that. So, my name's Adam. We're gonna start right where we left off. Gonna load our save city, and I believe it was called Johnville. Yeah, this looks familiar. Okay, so here's Johnville. Now, we need to get to what's on this toolbar over here. I'm going to put it over here because this is going to be our work area right in here. So, basically, you start with this bulldozer here, and it's got basically the same terraforming options as you did in the map editor. And same with this. This gives you trees and water. Everything else is going to be totally new to us. So we're going to just take things as they come. As always, we have the centering tool and the zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so let's get to work on actually building a city. The first thing you need in SimCity is a power plant. So you're going to go to this electrical bolt, which is everything you're going to need pertaining to energy, and you're going to hold that down and it gives you power plant. And it gives you this little power plant menu where you can choose what kind of energy you want to generate. You've got coal power, which is pretty polluting but fairly cheap. You've got hydroelectric, which is clean and efficient but really expensive, and you've got oil power, which kind of goes up and down in price with price of oil. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to start with coal power because it is the cheapest, and we'll put it somewhere sort of out of the way. Now that we have power, we're going to want people to come to our city, right? So this is where you're going to want to get into these three things, which is the residential zones, commercial zones, which is like businesses, and industrial zones, which is like factories and warehouses and stuff. But we're going to start with residential, and you can choose from either light or dense, and that just separates just how developed it will be. And light costs half as much as dense, but we're going to want to start with dense. So basically, you're just going to want to zone in a certain area by clicking and dragging. And basically, this is like cordoning off an area that will be dedicated to development of homes. And you're going to want to get some roads in here too. So you're going to click on the road tool, click road, and let's build some roads. The thing with zones is, to develop, do you want to, if you build a road to the edge of the map, it'll ask you if you want to connect to your neighbor for a certain price. We're not going to do that right now. Thing with zones, they have to be within 3 squares of a road or else it won't develop. So if you make it too wide or too deep, then some of those zones will just not develop. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So they're all within range. And you need to introduce a little electricity into the zone, just so that it'll start developing. You only need to make sure that there's like 1 square next to it is powered, and then things will start developing. Excuse me. Next thing on the list is going to pretty much just do the same with commercial, and we're going to do it just like that. That's going to be commercial. It's like business and stuff. And same with industrial. You get factories. Usually, factories, industrial areas in general, are in high demand near the beginning of the game because people need jobs. You can see the demand for the 3 zones right here where it says RCI. It'll be like above the bar or below the bar telling you how much these are in demand. Right now we don't have anyone living with us, so no demand for anything yet. But we're not quite done yet here, so we're going to want to introduce power to all those areas. And the last municipal thing you're going to want to get is water. And basically, the way water works is you got to build pipes, and you have to make a source of water in the form of pumps. And pumps basically pump a certain quantity of water based on how much natural water is like right next to the pumps. And you take the sum of all your water, and the game automatically distributes all the water for you. So you're going to want to build like a whole bunch of water, and you'll find yourself coming into water shortages pretty often. But as long as you're within the coastline, you can just build some more, and you'll never have a problem with that. Of course, for these things to work, you do need to power them. So just build some power lines from your plant, and that'll start pumping water through your pipes. To build pipes, it takes you into this underground view, and it'll show you where the pipes are. Basically, underneath buildings, you'll see right here how it's these gray pipes. The people automatically build pipes under their buildings, so you don't need to you don't need to buy pipes all here. You just need to get water to them. And as you can see now, the water is flowing. It's flowing into these. And basically what I do is just build pipes under all my roads, because everything is connected to roads. So why not? So let's build some pipes under our roads. This will come into play later on when you start building subways. So far it hasn't given me any trouble, so that's just the way I do it. If you think of a better way, tell me in the comments section and I'll consider using it. This is the underground view, by the way. You can toggle it by pressing this button. If you want to toggle other things, like this is the roads, wires, and trees button. So if you want to see, where are all my pipes at? Did I miss a spot? Yes, I did. So, did I miss any spots with my pipes? So anyways, that's how you do that. And finally, you've got these things down here, which are the town buildings, the municipal buildings. And these are pretty much absolutely necessary for things to happen. This is educational stuff, school, college, library, museum. This is public service, police, fire station, hospital, prison, and this is entertainment, parks, zoo, stadium, marina. Anyways, you're always going to want to start off with, police station, fire station, and a hospital, and a school. And generally, you're going to want to put schools and colleges near the residential areas, because that's where people live. And you can put the other stuff pretty much anywhere you want, really. It doesn't matter. Also, you want to put parks and stuff like that next to residential areas as well. But we don't need any of those yet. So let's run some power into our buildings so that they can function. Sorry about that. And that's basically all you need to know to get started on your city. And you'll notice that nothing's really been happening with these zones. That's because up until now, the speed up here in this menu has been paused. So let's set it to llama so that time can start moving. You can see the time's up here. It is January 1900 in Johnville, and my current budget is just over $10,000 because we had to get started here. So as you can see, this construction site is already coming up. So, things are starting to develop pretty quickly. And you'll notice up here, industries in demand, residents and commercial not so much. And this is where the lull in the game happens, basically. Because you just kind of had to sit and wait for stuff to happen. You get your homes, you got a church, businesses, offices, chemical storage, warehouse, stations, construction zones. Anyways, um, so, this goes on for quite a while, and there's a lot of micromanaging involved, and occasionally this happens. This is an abandoned building. This means that this particular zone isn't being used. Um, so if you have a lot of these around, it's kind of a bad sign. It means you might want to adjust a couple things. So now that we're sort of up and running, let's go ahead and build more residence and industry, because that seems to be what's in demand. So let's give the people what they want. Let's build some residence up and around the hospital. And we'll put some industry on the other side of the schools. Yeah, that's good. And as always, introduce some electricity, just to make sure. You can run roads around everything, but it's not a good idea until you've really developed a certain area. So I'm just going to run this road, and you don't really need to do much else, because if you build too many roads, you spend a lot on maintenance, and it's just a waste of money. Okay, so it's been 1 year, as you can see. It's now January of 2001, and this budget screen comes up, and you basically deal with this every year. You have to decide how to spend your money and how you've been spending your money. It's basically your taxes subtracted by your ordinances, by your bond interest, and by all your expenses. And I'm currently funding at 100% for my police force, my fire coverage, health and welfare, education, and transit. And if you're not really sure what's going on, you've got an advisor for each of these topics. So you've got this guy, he's your tax advisor. He doesn't have anything to say right now, so we won't worry about that right now. This lady, she tells you what ordinances you need to put in. So the people are asking for a pollution ordinance. If you start with coal or oil, this is always going to happen. People are going to want you to worry about pollution. So we may as well throw them a bone, since they're just getting off their feet. You're going to click on this book right here, and all the books are to check the details and adjust, micromanage your stuff. So let's click on this, go down to other, pollution controls, and this will subtract $4 from our budget every time we're charged. So that's not so big of a deal. As you can see up here, property, you can also micromanage your property taxes. Since commerce has kind of taken a hit, we'll lower the taxes on them, and since residence is doing really well and industry is doing kind of well, we'll raise taxes on them to sort of balance it out, and hopefully commerciality will make a comeback and we'll get more businesses. Next is bonds. Bond is pretty much taking out loans. He doesn't have anything to say, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that he doesn't want us borrowing any money right now. As a rule, you're always going to start out with impeccable crime rates. Crime's at an all-time low. This is just, there's really no way to micromanage that except, subtract funding, add funding. It just tells you what you're spending. Fire's the same way. He's the fire chief. Fire coverage is excellent. As long as you have buildings for these two people, they'll be happy. As long as you have police stations, every couple of blocks, they'll be happy. As long as you give them the money and stuff. Health and welfare, I have one hospital which is doing great. This is generally the least expensive besides transit. As you can see here, for every % of funding that I give these guys, it's a whole $1. So, but for her, it's just like about half. Education, same thing. You can choose how you want to fund your grade schools and your colleges. Normally, you don't need to fund your colleges right off the bat quite as much. He's okay with that. He understands that we're trying to manage a city here and we're not made of money. Um, Health and welfare, no way to micromanage that. Transit, definitely, definitely transit. But you're not gonna really want to micromanage this for a single reason. He has nothing to say right now because I'm giving him full funding, and if I subtract like just a little bit of money from his budget, he flips out. You know, he's like threatening me. He's gonna come into work with a shotgun someday and kill everybody. But give him his money back and he calms down. So basically, you really don't want to cut funding on transit just for the fact that your roads start falling apart. You know, randomly blocks of road will just start disappearing, which is a bad thing. So, he's right. You will regret it if you ever cut transit funding. So just leave that alone. When you're all done tinkering with this stuff, you just hit done and you go on your merry way. And at the end of every year, you get your earnings and you subtract your bills, and you're pretty much going about doing the same thing, for several years. And that's pretty much the basics of the game. Let's just, do a few more things around here, spruce the place up. The businesses are making a comeback, so let's put some more businesses in. Okay. Excuse me. Put in some more roads because now we have room. Ooh, I don't like that this is... Hang on, let me rotate. You see that? That's poor planning on my part. Sorry, just gonna demolish this. You can also use this to de-zone certain parts. I should have a road running through here because people shouldn't have to, Oh, and that also cut off power. Here, let me bring that back for you. Okay, so we're good now. I just thought that was really poor planning on my part, and, could have done better. Anyways, I missed this. Seaports. I don't know what these do right now. Yeah. But they're pretty useful. I mean, they bring in revenue and stuff, and they're pretty expensive just to start with, but they're good to have. I think they sort of fall under commerce. Let's put some pipes under our new roads so that everyone can have nice, clean drinking water. I think we're drinking out of the river. All my pumps are, they have their source there, so, whatever. People are happy. I'm happy. Oh, I forgot. No, never mind. I didn't forget anything. We're good. Sometimes it's just good to zoom out, take a look at your city, look at all the accomplishments you've made, and say, "Wow, I built this." And it helps to, oh, hey, I got the paper. Yeah, you pretty much get these every once in a while, and you can turn them off with the newspaper menu, but I like them. They're fun to see sometimes. They got these surveys in here every once in a while, like, maybe I should start, funding police more, or pollution ordinances, or cut down on taxes, or make more roads and stuff like that. It helps you a little bit. They kind of give you little hints throughout the game that are a little subtle. Oh, hey, the year's already over. Okay, well, let's get to budgeting. Everybody seems to be happy. Don't worry about this for the first 5 years or so. You're gonna be spending more money than you earn because you don't have a whole lot of property to tax. But it's okay. Once you expand a little bit more, you're gonna be making more than you're spending, which is excellent. If you hit the 4th year, the 5th year, and you're making, you've got a cash flow of like $200 a year. That's not bad. Don't ever take out bonds. Seriously. unless it's like an absolute emergency, because they eat up 300, 400, $500 every budgeting sequence. It just devastates your funds, and it brings development to a standstill. So try not to take out bonds if you can help it. If that's all there is, I think I'm gonna cut this video and bid you guys adieu. Thank you for watching. I hope you continue to do so. I hope I'll see you next time.